Hello everyone, this is Tripper, and today we're going to be playing some Mordhau. But as there are not too many people online right now, it's the wee hours of the day, I'm going to be doing something that I meant to do a long time ago. I'm going to be showing you guys all of the armor pieces that are available currently in the alpha. Now this is as of November 9th, 2017, so we're going to see what's on offer currently in the game. And it's a beautiful array of things. So, first, I'll go through a couple of my classes that I've made and show you just little pieces. So this is the peasant. Right now, this is basically the lightest armor, and by lightest, I mean literally nothing. There is no armor provided by anything this man wears. If you want light armor, then I will go over to my bandit. The bandit is wearing full light armor. He has leathers, hunter's hosen, and a hood, which all provide light armor, which means he can run very fast. He's much faster than all the other armor types. That is light armor, and then we have a medium armored man. The mercenaries, I believe his centerpiece is medium armor, this coat of plates. And then we have full heavy armor, such as my dreadnought. So, just an overview of what those basically levels of armor can look like. However, we're going to go ahead and make our own. So we're going to call this guy the Test. And there is no specific reason for that name, simply that we're going to be testing on this man. So, first and foremost, and this is a beautiful thing they've implemented recently, a live preview system, so I don't have to click each individual one of these items. So, first and foremost, we have nothing on the head. We have the Bishop's Mantle, a very nice piece. More than likely Middle Eastern in origin, though I can see it coming from elsewhere as well. We have the chain coif, which is also an interesting piece, European in origin, I believe. I'll probably be wrong here and there about things I claim about these armor pieces, but you have to bear with me. Hood, which is very cool. We've got a little bit of a frill, not really a frill at the end, but just a bit of looseness. We have a padded coif. We have a peasant cap, which looks as the name would suggest, simply a peasant cap, much as in the chivalry one. We have a peasant hat, which is a farmer's hat. A barbute, which is a very cool piece. I think we're going to zoom in a bit. Then we have it with a visor up, and then a bassinet with its visor up. Now, every helmet that has a visor will have an up version, ergo one where the visor is pushed up, and one where it is simply a normal helm. These are the ones with the visor pushed up are medium armor, meaning that you can take fewer hits, but you move a bit faster. Especially if you have medium or light armor on the head, do you move a bit faster? It's a really interesting thing, but it kind of makes sense to me as a mechanic in the game. At least that is how it is now in the alpha. So, we have the domed armet raised. Very, very nice helm. We're going to zoom out just a little bit there. The Eisenhut, a cute little hat. Hat of metal. We have the flat top, which you can color to your satisfaction. Most helmets you cannot color the entire thing. However, with this, you can color the entire thing, except for the white scuffs, basically. So if you wanted to make a man with a deep blue helm, there you go. And then we have the kettle helm, a fan favorite, I'm sure. It's a flippin' kettle. I mean, what more do you want? You have the clap visier, Italian version, which I will be showing you the heavy versions of all of these up-visored helms in a second when we get to the heavy section. Then we have the normal clap visier pushed up. We have the Norman casque, painted salet, or salette. Then the visor up version of that. The point armet with a raised visor. The raised Gothic armet. These are somewhat similar looking at first, but you will notice that the Gothic armet is a little bit scarier. We'll see it with the visor down in a second. Then we have a slitted kettle. Now, a slitted kettle is fun because there are little slits so you can see out of. These are normally worn by archers, if I'm not mistaken. Then there's the Spanish kettle, which is quite cool. This angular thing. It's like a ship turned upside down. Unvisored clap visier, which just looks kind of weird, to be honest. Viking helmet, of course. Laden on all of your Viking friends. The wedge armet, raised. The barbute. This is a beautiful helmet. And by beautiful, I mean badass. And some of these, I believe... Okay, some of these helmets, I think, have a pattern that you can change to them. We'll see about those when we come to them. Then we have the bassinet, which is just this ridiculously huge flippin' helmet that is Merox's favorite, of course. We have the domed armet, this badass looking thing, something like the Mountain might wear if he had the option. Then we have the flat Templar helmet, Gothic armet, the Clapvisier. I like this helmet quite a bit. However, the Clapvisier Italian is very, very nice. Very intimidating helmet. I love my intimidating helmets. In fact, we might use this helmet today. Pointed Sallet. This is the Bavor version. The Bavor version is one where you can color it entirely, which is cool. The Point Armet, where it's got a big point. It's like a pointy-headed shark. We have the Pointy Templar helm. We have the regular armet, as opposed to the Point Armet. Then the Bavor Sallet. The Bavor means that I think it has that extra lip somewhere. Then we have the Wedge armet, which is so cool, but everybody's using it, so I'm not really in the market for that. All right, so which one are we going to choose for our test? Like I wanted, I do like the look of this Italian Clapvisier, but I already have a class who uses it. So I may just go with the Pointy Armet. The Point Armet, I should say. And then you see a color here, but that is only to indicate this, the leather strap in the back, which we can make red, which is kind of cool. I think if we make this guy's color scheme just like this dark, deep blood red, I think that could be cool. So let's go with that. So the neck, we have the Bishop's Mantle lowered, and this is a chainmail piece. We have a cloth coif lowered, foot soldier gorget, fur coif, gambeson collar opened, which is quite cool, an actual gorget, heavy bavor, and a lowered hood. They have versions where they are literally just helmets. So we have a Bishop's Mantle as a head helmet, and then we have a lowered Bishop's Mantle as a neck cosmetic. All neck, shoulder, arm, hand, waist, and feet pieces are cosmetic. All those armor pieces. Head, torso, and legs actually determines your damage resistance. So those are all the neck pieces. Torso pieces, quite a few. We have nothing, of course. We have a cloth vest, a very, very nice cloth vest. Yeah. We have a shirt, tunic, which I am quite particular to. We have a coat of plates. These are the light armors. Doublet of leather. We have a padded doublet, a gambeson, Landsknecht vest, which is a very beautiful piece of work, might I say so myself. Many, many of these armor pieces are so incredibly beautifully made. I could spend a whole video talking about any one of them, but I'm trying to just do an overall overview. Leather armor is here. Leather lamellar cuirass here. Brigandine. It's a very nice studded piece of thick leather and cloth. We have chainmail. We have a chainmail tabard, coat of plates, and this is the alternate version of the coat of plates, because there's this one where the plates are all leather with studs, and then there's this one where the plates are actually metal. Then we have a plate lamellar cuirass, whereas we had a leather lamellar cuirass as a light armor piece. These are medium. And then finally we have our heavy armor pieces. We have a crude cuirass, as you can see, quite crude. Foot soldier chest, even more crude if I may say so myself, but it works. Gothic plate, very nice set of armor. And then the tabard. And I think we may go with the tabard, in fact, if only for the fact that I can show you patterns. So patterns are something that certain helmets, torso, leg pieces have attached to them. To show you every single pattern on every single armor piece, that would take an hour-long video. So I'm going to try to keep this shorter. But this one, in this case, this is going to change the coloring of the cloth, and the pattern is going to change how that is designed, how that is portrayed. There's not too many you can do with the tabard, sadly, but there's enough where you can do quite a bit. Like, we've got a great sort of stripe pattern here that's on only half the armor, and I'm going to change this to a dark red. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. So let's stick with that. And then let's make this white a black. Yes, that's very nice. Cool. All right, so for shoulder pieces, we are going to check out nothing. We have a bear pelt. This is fantastically, it's very huge, especially compared to the neck piece fur pelt. We have a single chain pad, double chain pads, a cloth cover, night pauldrons, which are fluted in various designs, 1x1, 1x2, and 2x2. We have Gothic pauldrons, very cool, very well segmented, well designed in that respect. Night pauldrons, 1x1, 1x2, 1x3, 2x2, 2x3, and 3x3. I like the 3x3 for this guy. I think I might give him the 3x3, but let's go through the rest. Lamellar shoulders. Would obviously go well with the lamellar armor. Leather lamellar shoulders. Leather pads, single, double leather pads. I think this is a new armor piece, actually. Haven't seen that. Then we have pauldrons, very simple, round pauldrons, these little plate-looking things. Segmented pauldrons, very nice. Shield pauldrons, if you want that good old golden feel. And you cannot change, sadly, the coloring of the metal on this sort of piece. You can change the metal tint of, like, the base armor color. So if I wanted to make this dark black, there. If I wanted to make it pristine white, up there. And by pristine white, I simply mean it's very reflective. It makes it a bit more reflective. It's not ridiculous where I have red armor, because that looks stupid. So we have shield pauldrons, a short mantle, square pauldrons. Interesting, again, plate-looking things. Triangular pauldrons. And finally, wolf chain pelt and simply a wolf pelt. The difference being this chain going across both shoulders. So, as I said, we're going to go with the 3x3 knight pauldrons, which I very much like for their size. I like them big. Arms. I like my arms big too. So bracers up first, and the thing about arms, I think every single one of these is going to cover the entirety of the arm except for bracers. Very interesting thing indeed. So we have bracers, we have brigandine arms, chainmail arms, padded chainmail arms, a little elbow plate, crude plate arms, foot soldier arms. Kind of like the foot soldier arms for this guy. I might go with those. Gambeson long sleeve, which just looks stupid on him right now. Gothic arms, cool, but they would match a Gothic set, of course. Landsknecht arms, very, very nice. And I'm pronouncing that in the German fashion rather than saying Landsknecht or Landsknecht. Like, no. We have leather arms, long sleeve cloth. Rolled cloth, of course, you can roll up your sleeves. And Van Brace arms. So all these choices, super simple to just switch and preview each and every individual one of them, and I love it. So we're going to go with the foot soldier arms, and we can change the color of the undercloth. So I want to change, first off, the color of, I believe... okay, so this is for the shoulders, sorry. This is for the color of the tassel. I want to change that to some kind of dark red. Oh, I seem to have missed, actually, a pattern on the pauldrons themselves, but we will not see it until I change to this. So, you see that fucking awesome-looking design? That's not the default. The default is this. It's simply steel. And then we have gold nails and gold filigree. And then we have this beautiful design, which I think I'm going to keep on this guy. Even though it might not fit him, I think I'm going to keep it on him for now. Okay, so we got the foot soldier arms. Yeah, let's change the color of that undershirt to a nice deep red. Beautiful. Now to the hands. We have nothing, of course. Bare hands, basic segmented gauntlets. Oh, those are so cool. I think I'm going to go with those. We have chainmail mittens, which look ridiculous if you're not wearing chainmail. Checkered leather gloves. Crude gauntlets, probably to go with the crude plate armor set. Fan segmented gauntlets, very, very cool set. A little too ostentatious for this. And also something that the developers haven't dealt with yet, and I don't know if they plan to, armor clipping with one another. It's really hard to do, given the fact that you can customize just about any armor piece with just about any other. But it's something that I think Birch is mentioning. So we have this fan segmented gauntlets, fluted segmented gauntlets, very cool. Gothic gauntlets. Hourglass gauntlets with that gold rimming, probably to match the shield pauldrons. Leather gloves, long sleeve leather gloves, and Wisby gauntlets. So I think we're going to stick with the crude segmented. And these, as you will see, have a pattern. So first off, we're going to change the, this is probably the color of some kind of, this is the color of the leather. Nice, we changed that to a nice blood red. And then the white is going to be whatever it is on this thing, the studs. So we can get gold trimming and gold studs. We can get a gold knuckle along with those. And a gold thumb knuckle. Damn, that's new. And then we get the pattern. I think I want that, because that's cool as hell. Why not? Let's just make our armor... Oh, I like that. I like that. It's kind of a brass finish. So we haven't even gotten to the metal tint yet, but I'm already changing it. So the waist has been pre-selected for us, given the fact that we're wearing a tabard. However, that means, as a result, that we can't change it. If I were to change my torso, which I'm going to have to because I want to show you guys everything, let's just make it nothing. We can make our waist a couple things, leather skirt, Nordic skirt. This is what I meant by some armor pieces being limited. So we're going to go ahead and put on a tunic. That means that we can only wear the tunic dress lower section. If I put on leather armor, we can wear... I think we can wear every single one with the leather armor. So let's try that. With the leather armor, we can wear chainmail skirt, a crude plate skirt, gambeson skirt, gothic skirt, lamellar skirt, leather skirt, long skirt cover, which gives you this cool thing you can design the colors of. In fact, let me show you that. Let me show you that a little bit. So what you can do with this is you can, let's just use black and white. You can change this into some really cool patterns. Check that out. That is a really nice sort of flowery design, and it goes even further than that. So that's what you can do with your waist pieces. You have a long skirt with just the back covered. You have a divided long skirt, which goes around in 3 pieces, just with leather strips, with studs, pretty badass looking. A long skirt with segments at the bottom. A single piece on either side, and then a Nordic skirt, of course. So let's go ahead and switch our torso armor back to a tabard. I think I actually like that a bit better. I think I might have had black as the main color before. We're going to go with that. Also, it took off my shoulders when I changed my torso piece. Something to keep in mind. It will forcibly change your armor pieces if you're not careful. But hopefully they'll have a warning for that in the future, that like so-and-so armor piece will be forcibly unequipped if you select this leg piece or this waist piece or something. So we have to use the tabard skirt. That's fine, that makes sense. So let's go ahead and choose legs. We're going to start with nothing, of course. You can't see it too well, but he's wearing his underpants. That's what he's been wearing most of the time. Baggy pants, which as you can see, pretty unimaginative. Normal pants, tied off at the knees. Hunter's hosen, have some leather pads. Landsknecht pants, which are pretty cool. I'm going to try to wave this around so you can see it. No, I got to show you the Landsknecht pants in their full glory. Feast your eyes. This is what these fucking pants look like. The full set of the Landsknecht looks gorgeous, by the way. But we're not using this with this guy. Brigandine greaves. I think we're just going to take off the tabard for the time being. So you can see the legs a little bit. So we are down to Brigandine greaves. Looks so. They're very cool. The calf guard hosen, with only calf guards, of course. Chainmail hosen, chainmail the whole way down. Padded chainmail. Much as with the arm pieces, they have those plates, those plates at the knees. We have crude chaucers. These are new. These are very cool looking. Foot soldier leggings. And you might notice they're forcibly changing the shoes at this point, which kind of makes sense. Some shoes just don't look good at all with certain leggings and such. In fact, yeah, these are foot soldier leggings. I think I may go with these. Then we have Gothic leggings, which look badass, but really only fit the Gothic set. So we're going to go with foot soldier leggings, and we're going to swap back to the tabard. The leggings, okay, yeah, so we have the cloth colors that we can change. We want to make that a dark red with black highlights, I believe. And then finally, feet. So again, these will be limited by what you're wearing on your legs, I'm pretty sure. So we have Brigandine boots. Thick leather boots, foot soldier boots, they look like boots, Landsknecht sandals. Look at those things, they're so funny. We're going to go ahead and change the legs to nothing, because then we can access every shoe. Almost every shoe, actually. We can use these interesting, different looking boots. We can use crude sabatons, segmented plates on your foot, and then just shoes. And I think that is all for the feet. I want, yeah, Brigandine boots. Let's go with that. Or just normal boots. Yeah, I like the normal boots. They look pretty good. And we can change this to a nice red leather color. Beautiful. Just go ahead and save that quickly. So as you can see, we built someone who's pretty damn scary. However, my arms have reset somewhere along the way. So let's go ahead and change that back. Foot soldier arms. Okay, that was easy. Nice. So yeah, this is what we end up with. It's a very, very cool design that the game has allowed us effectively at this point. And I love just the depth of this system. So we're going to go ahead and look into the emblems now. And thankfully we're using a tabard, so it's going to show up right here, right on the center. Let's go ahead and change that to black. So I'm just going to go through every single one of them. We have this very nice shield pattern, very complex. I like it. Then a fleur-de-lis, another fleur-de-lis, a crown, a fort, more of a tower. 4-leaf clover, pretty funny to see that on people. A rook, knight, horse, what have you. A cross, yet another cross, different designs that I think is a Nordic cross. And then we have some Norse symbols, which are pretty cool. And then a lion on a shield, and then again, a really cool Mordhau symbol with blood spattered across, which is really, really interesting. There, I just set the colors up right. Then they've got this cool fort design that kind of looks like a shield. I love it. Again, that might be the symbol of the Knights Hospitaller. I don't think it is, but I might be wrong about these things. We have a sort of secretive cult-looking symbol with an eye and a moon. We have what seems like an orb of rulership or something for the church, perhaps. A star, a bear, a snake, and I believe the final one is simply a flower. And it's not a rose, sadly. It's simply a flower. So we're going to go with none. I don't really like massively any of the emblems, personally. Just personally, I wouldn't have them on my people, except for the themed guys like my Crusader, which, as you can see, has a big cross. Anyway, then we can look at the metal roughness. So I've set the metal tint to something with a sort of a brass finish, but we'll look very close in here and you'll see what happens. So the metal roughness starts at nothing. This is more or less reflective armor. But the more I drag it over, you'll notice that it stops reflecting anything. And it looks old. Gets this really aged, really almost like glazed over, encrusted look to it, which makes it look ancient and pale, and it looks really interesting. However, I much prefer a more new looking armor. So we're going to go with that. Finally, there is the metal tint, and I was playing around with this a little bit earlier on in the video. However, I'm going to show you guys just what this palette has to offer. There is quite a lot on offer here. As I said earlier, just so much customization. And then we've gotten to the color. We start off with a deep white, effectively. And again, these aren't going to come off as colors. They're metal tints. They're a type of metal, a metallic hue. So it's going to look different. The colors don't exactly tell you what you're going to be seeing. So we see this lighter color, a little bit darker, then really dark. This is your Black Knight, effectively. Farther than that, a little bit lighter. And these will have tones and hues, each and every one of these things. And I don't think the pure black armor fits this guy exactly. I think the one we had selected before, I think it's one of these. It's the more brass-colored one. Will fit a bit better. But then we have a much more interesting blue-toned color. As we go through here, we see that each color goes through a couple levels of brightness. So right here we have sort of a limeish green tint, which if we go around the armor we can see maybe a little bit better. Darker, brighter, this is kind of a yellowish tint. This is kind of copper. And then we go to that brass color we had before, a little darker, even darker. And then we have some different colors here. It's going to be very hard to tell the difference between all of these guys, just because it's so hard to see the nuanced difference. I'm going to zoom in a bit to see if that helps. So I think we're somewhere up here. See, the difference between these is just a slightly more yellow hue for the one on the right. Then we go down here and we get a sort of old antique feel from the color, sort of yellowish, a bit more brass, darker, a little brighter, maybe a little bit more on the blue side, a little bit more on the golden side as we move over here. Again, a little bit darker. And then we come down to the bottom left, and it runs the gamut, but I think it is mostly meant to be sort of this yellowish green hue. And then we can go into a quite dark armor with a yellowish green hue. I may go with this one, but actually I think I like most this. Yeah, this. This almost like golden brown brass coloring. So I think that's what we're going to stick with. I like that in the armor. But there's so much you can do with the metal tint that is just very hard to pick up on. It's very subtle, but I love it. And I believe that about does it, ladies and gentlemen. We have gone ahead and made our test. The test. I need to actually give him a real name at some point. But for now, he is the test. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of the armor pieces throughout. People have been asking for this. If you want to see anything else in this game, please let me know. I want to do a video on weaponry. However, I can't really do that much on tactics because the game isn't being played by that many people. But as always, thank you very much for watching and have a grand day. I like them big.